Good morning, everybody. And I do have a hard stop at 9:30 because I have to go to the dentist. So let's just jump right in here. Welcome, everybody that's here, whether you're with the EXP or you are a guest. We're glad to have you. So I'm going to start with, over the last 2 weeks, we've talked about the first two chapters of this little book. It's called, everybody knows, right? 101 Ways to Lead Generate Business in Real Estate. Okay. It is the simplest, easy book you will ever read in your entire life. I know from experience that realtors only read 3 lines and then they quit reading. And so this is easy. Most of them are 3 lines that you're going to get to read. However, we're going to expand on them a little bit more today. I also wanted to share with you before we get started here, the activity sheet for this next 12-week challenge, or I guess we're 3 weeks into the challenge. And I don't know how many of you downloaded it, but if you have not, I'm going to share my screen and show it to you. And if you have not, you need to do it. So, all right, where's my share screen? Because we all know if you don't track it, you don't know what's going on. And if you don't see it, it doesn't exist. So this is for you to choose your first 3 forms, your top 3 forms of lead generation. List the activities that you're going to do for that lead generation, hours per week you're going to commit to that activity, your game plan for every activity, your ultimate goal of new METs from this activity. The goal here, people, is to increase your database, because nobody in all the years I've been doing this has ever walked up to my door, knocked on my door and said, will you sell me a house? Or will you list my house? That doesn't happen. You have to get out and meet people, right? You've got to build your database. So this is the way that you can keep track of that. And you can do this as an accountability sheet. Weeks 1 through 12, how many new METs your goal was, how many that you added to your database, your successes, and your lessons learned. That's enough about that. But if you're not tracking it, you are losing out. One of the things I know about real estate is that it's an ongoing process. If you're a new agent, it's like, are any of you runners? Okay. When you first started running and you decided you were going to do your first, let's say 10K, did you just jump in and you were like won the race?
No,
you didn't, because you had to prepare. You had to do, there were things you had to learn. You had to eat right. You had to drink your water. You had to do all the things you had to do to get your body in shape for that run. Okay, so that's what, if you're a new agent, that's where you are. You're getting ready for your 10K. Now, if you're a runner, you also know that after a while, you're like, I'm just going to jog a while. And so then you start jogging, and then you start walking. And then somebody says, hey, you're going to run the 10K with me? And you're like, oh, sure. And then you do as badly as you did the first race. It's because you let it go. You got caught up in the minutia. You weren't adding people to your database, and you weren't out doing your job. So with that said, let's get on to my book. So this section is on social media. Please, please, please. This is an open forum. I don't want to talk the whole time. Obviously, my throat's sore. So with this cold. So jump in, please. Open your mic. You don't have to raise your hand. You can jump right in and you can talk over me. I don't care. I'll stop. So social media. First one, which is number 72 in our book. Blogging, vlogging. Blogging? I don't even know what blogging is. Chris, what's blogging?
Is that with a V? Is it with a V?
Video.
Blogging is video. Yes. Thank you, Chris.
So share your expertise with the world and market your business at the same time. And he says, I used to say video was in the future, but it's not, it's now. Embrace it or get left behind. I don't know how many of you have watched the videos from the last workshop, Believe? No, what was the name of it? The last EXP thing. What was that?
Build?
Shareholders?
No, the one that they just got back from.
Build.
Oh, build.
Build.
Yeah.
If you have not watched those videos from Build, go onto the YouTube channel and watch them. There are some amazing workshops in that, amazing speakers, and they talk about the importance of videos and how they've grown their business using videos. How many of you have been blogging or vlogging? How many of you have been doing that?
I've been doing it
little?
inconsistent. I've been doing it inconsistently. Chris Dove is like,
So Chris,
How
talk about that. How has it affected your business?
Basically, I might not hit posts or reels or Facebook every day, but I try to stay consistent on my stories because that is more like a vlog, like you're talking about. And what that does is it brings other people insight into the things that you're doing, maybe in your life or like what you have going on. So you can build your personality around your vlog and build that like to know to trust factor.
You, because studies show that when people see you in a video, they start thinking they know you and the trust factor goes up, right? So get onto videos. And if you don't like the way you look, I'll tell you what somebody told me when I said that. They said, DJ, that's how you look. So it is how you look. And it's not the old days where realtors put their picture on their card when they were 35, and when they were 65, they had the same picture on the card. And you go, that, you want to go, that's you, so you want people to recognize you when you're out in the street. You want them to recognize you when you're on your video. So get on the video wagon. Facebook, number 73. Personal page, business page, and Facebook marketing is the minimum you should be doing. Balance is a necessity for your personal page. Too much selling will get you ignored, but it's a great way to connect with your database. This is where a lead capture site used in conjunction with squeeze pages are an unbelievable lead generation combination. Advertising to a specific audience made easy. Now, if you don't know how to do that, there are all kinds of how to do that on YouTube. Go on, get some information, learn from somebody that's doing it successfully. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. That's one of the things I'll tell you. If you're a new agent, stop thinking you can do it better. One of the speakers that on the videos I was just telling you about said, if Magic Johnson, I think that's who he is, came into your house to play basketball with you, and he said, do you want me to give you some tips? And you said, oh no, I know what I'm doing. That's silly. Don't try to reinvent it. Go find people that are doing what you want to do and learn from the best. So if you do want to use your Facebook for the best return, go find videos. There are coaches out there that will work with you. They will actually set you up on a schedule of how often and when you should be what social media you should be using, when you're going to be using it. Don't try to learn everything and to be an expert at everything when there are people out there that will give you A, B, C, D, E, and go. So, okay, that's enough. Anybody have anything to say about Facebook and any successes from Facebook? Or come on, some of you have used, everybody here uses Facebook, don't they? Yes, yes, yes. So what have been some things that have happened to you by using your Facebook?
it helped me nurture my sphere because my sphere was watching and keeping track. So when I was able to catch up with them, although I wasn't up to date with everything that had happened with them, they were very aware of what I had been up to. So for me, it helped nurture them indirectly because my sphere and the people I wanted to stay in front of, I was staying in front of passively.
And you're building your brand.
Yep.
Every time you show up on Facebook, you're building your brand. You're building your image. You're saying to them, I'm dependable or I'm not. I show up or I don't. I have morals, I have ethics, or I don't. So be careful of what you put on there because it comes back to you. All right. So people are posting or putting in the chat box, but they're not talking. So let's see okay. So Melanie says she got her first sale from a Facebook story. All right, Melanie, come off of mute and tell us about that story. Tell us that story.
Okay. Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm brand new real estate agent, 3 months in, and I just joined EXP, brand new to EXP. I just switched teams. I was 1 month after my license, and I started to post on social media, and I opened up my messenger, and somebody replied to my story, "I want to buy this house," and literally sent me a picture of the house and said, "Will you be my realtor?" And it was a brand new construction house. And so I went and registered. I talked to some people. They said, register now before the agent steals them. Registered them. We closed a month later. And this is all just from a Facebook story. So it was, I think, a little bit of luck, but it was from my social media that she
Right.
found out I was a realtor. I'm a fitness coach in the morning. My sphere of influence is the people I coach. And she was one of the members that I coach. So
Awesome. Good job. And Stephanie, come off mute and talk to us. There you are.
If I could figure it out on this thing. Sorry.
Hi.
I got you guys on my iPad. I've had actually several leads from Facebook. One of my daughter's preschool teacher saw a post that I made and she reached out to me. So it was really, really good to be able to get in touch with her, help her sell her house, and then also help her to purchase a house. Then another couple that they saw that I did new construction. They're like, "Oh, okay, can you help me?" And I helped them. So it was just a matter of, sharing the stuff that my clients went through, and then, "Oh, what can you help me?" Kind of thing. So it worked out.
Super. Thank you. Ruth, do you want to jump in?
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
Good morning.
Last year, when I start my first year in real estate, I'm very familiar with using Facebook, so and using that as to promote my business. So there were a couple of questions that I put in Facebook periodically, and one of them was, I have a buyer that is looking to buy for this price range. So I'll sometimes say I have a buyer that's for 250, 350, which I do. I'm not gonna lie. And I received a listing. I received a person telling me, "Hey, I actually want to sell my trailer, my manufactured home." And from that listing, I went to did a listing presentation. I got the listing, and then he gave me 3 other listings after that, 1 land and 2 of his mother's. And so I did 4 transactions from 1 lead.
Nice.
And then another one, I did it recently. I said that I think I had a buyer, or if anybody was selling, I'll be more than happy to help. And I have another listing coming up from that Facebook. I say questions to spark anybody's interest that are thinking about selling. And if I say something like that, I'll be able to communicate with them. I've actually had a listing. I had a buyer and that went through my Facebook Marketplace, because I ended up putting my listing in Facebook Marketplace just to promote it different ways. And that buyer didn't buy my listing, but she bought another property, and then she also sold a property to me. So Facebook is like one of my favorite ways to promote, because it's free. And you can have simple questions, and then like the moment they respond to your questions, or the moment they engage in your Facebook, that means that the algorithm is going to notify them more and more about what you're posting in their page. So if they do engage in your Facebook and say, "Oh, congratulations, thank you so much," or whatever they say, like if we post whatever other thing, if they engage, now your Facebook is going to be putting in their like site, they're going to be looking at it. So it's important to keep up the rhythm of the post, the story, and even engaging in their story and engaging in their Facebook. And if you comment in, I think like 6 or 7 words in their comments, now if you do that, they already start seeing your Facebook more. So the point is, you want to get your face out there as much as you can. So if they see your Facebook and then you sold a land, which I just did, somebody told me, "Hey, I saw you sold a land. Can you sell mine too?" And I was like, "Okay." So the more you engage in other people's Facebook, the more yours starts to pop up. And then the more you post and the more you show your success, or the more you show the way you market yourself or anything like that, they're gonna see it. And then they're just gonna respond to you naturally, because like you said, they feel like they know you because of the way that you say yourself in the story, or the way you post, or things, even like funny memes that are not like that are just basic. They start to get to know you. And then when you're marketing, they're gonna go to you for your Facebook. I mean, for the real estate needs.
Hey, anybody want Ruth to come on and do a workshop for us? I'll give you a call, Ruth. Karen, Karen, you have something to add? No, you have your hand up?
Yes, one other thing that I do is we have a neighborhood Facebook page where I post a lot of information, not just real estate. Oh, hello,
Hi,
hello. Can you hear me?
now, yeah. Not
Oh,
now.
Okay. So we have a
Karen, we can't
neighborhood,
hear you.
come back. I'll come back.
Okay. Antoinette, do
Can
you
you hear
want
me now?
before we move on?
Yes.
Sorry, dead zone.
Yeah.
Go on, go on.
So I wanted to share an amazing opportunity since you're speaking about Facebook. So I am joining as many network referral groups, especially, throughout Facebook. And so I just happened I had some flyers made, and I just happened to share in this military network group, because I'm prior Air Force, retired Air Force. And I had an inbox from a young lady who is a part of this organization. And she asked me if I was interested in becoming the ambassador for my installation. And my answer was, of course, absolutely. So the CEO contacted me. We had an interview, and now I am the ambassador for Robins Air Force Base.
Nice. Wow. So,
All from Facebook, and not being afraid to put it out there. Nobody's going to know what you're doing unless you tell them.
yep, exactly. Okay, now Instagram, really same thing. Everything that everybody said, Instagram it's a story. And so I am not well versed on Instagram, don't use it a lot, but it's been very, very, very effective for a lot of people. So it says that here that 4.2 billion people put likes on Facebook every day. And it's probably more now because this book's about a year or so old. YouTube, video content. You need to have a YouTube channel, and you need to get involved with people that know what to do and how to do it. Again, one of the videos from Build was on building your presence on YouTube. Get that, watch that video. All right, and Twitter. Anybody know anything about Twitter? I don't have a clue what to do on Twitter, but it says it's a super easy way to connect with your audience in an informal way. So he says it's a gold mine. So if you do use Twitter, anybody use Twitter and like it? No. Okay. All right. Next section, paid advertising.
Ooh,
Much
DJ,
like
can I
this.
stop you for a second?
Thank you. Yes.
I just want to bring up the importance of two other social media three. Right
Okay.
now, equivalent, it would be to Twitter would be Threads.
Right.
You also want to be on TikTok. You don't have to dance. That'll set you apart alone. And don't forget to be on LinkedIn. Very powerful.
Yes. And when you do LinkedIn, make sure that you put all of your personal and your professional information in there and have it done very professionally. Take the time to fill it out and make sure it's
Morning.
right. Anybody? Am I talking? So- because you don't want them to go on a professional page to look for you and you don't look professional, right? Or your stuff is not professional. Okay, here is paid advertising. Nothing, don't do it unless you are very, very rich. You know, there's many more ways to get business rather than paying for advertising. Okay, what do you need to join? What professional events do you need to be involved in? Obviously, you're involved, you are by default with the National Association of Realtors and our state association or your state association of realtors. You know, there are events that you can go to and we're really lucky that if we live in Florida and if we're close to Orlando, because there's all kinds of the realtor events that are held in Orlando. If you can go, you're going to meet a lot of other people, and a lot of other companies, and a lot of companies do not refer out to each other. They're independent companies. They're in Chicago, they're in Detroit, they're in New York, and therefore they work for a small independent company, and they're always looking for referral partners. So you want to go out and do that. They're just good for networking, and you learn stuff, which is really important. If you do not have your GRI or any of the designations that would set you apart, think about getting your designations. And if you are going to get a designation, listen to me, please hear these words. Don't do it online. Go to a classroom and get your designation. Meet the other people that are growing their business and are learning based. Get to know other people for referral basis. Network, network, network. They may not be your clients, but they may be sending you a referral. A really good story about that is that a few years back, we had a brand new agent when I was with another company, and he went to an event down in Miami, met a lady that works with sports teams and helps the sports players. And he was with the Dolphins, and I don't even know is that football? I don't know what that is. Football? Okay, good. And she was working with the Dolphins because they were just coming in, and new people were coming in. They needed homes, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he made his way to her and introduced himself. And he was in California, and he said, I really would like to pick your brain if you'd let me buy you lunch. And she said, sure. And so they went to lunch, and she was impressed by his going forward, introducing himself, asking for help. And about 2 months later, he got a call and said, one of my players is moving out to LA. Would you help him? And he made his first multi-million-dollar sale because he reached out, he went someplace, he networked, and he met people. He didn't sit there on the seat and not do anything. He networked and he met someone. And it was like I think it was like a $2.5 million purchase in LA. And so you never know what that referral is going to be and who you're going to meet. So, okay, realtor seminars, go out of state, go to realtor seminars and meet people for referrals. We talk about referrals, and I don't think you guys understand the value of a referral, because if I give you a referral and for a $500,000 house, I'm in Lakeland. Let's say that I know somebody in Miami and I give you a referral and they buy a $500,000 house in Miami. And so a $500,000 house is a $15,000 commission, and I get 25% of that. So that's not a bad gig. And so if you send me one and I sell a $500,000 house, I'm really happy to get 75% of that commission, because I didn't do anything for it except to help them find a house, or sell a house. So build your referral base. Okay, you all know about open houses and networking groups. Just by a show of hands or in the chat or whatever, tell me, do you belong to a networking group? At least one networking group. I know Antoinette does, but if any of the rest of you, okay, Chris does, and we know how successful she is. Okay, Moses does. Anybody else? Go find a networking group. I had this conversation with 3 of my agents yesterday. Go, and one of them said, I went out, I found a networking group because every time I get up in the morning, I hear your voice in my head saying, get out of the house. So get out of the house, go meet people in person. You can only do so much on this computer. Go meet people in person. There are groups like BNI. Now, BNI is expensive. I'm not going to tell you it's not. It's about $900, I think, right now to join. You meet every month, every week, usually in the morning, like 7:30. But what it is that there's only one person from each industry. So you're the only realtor. And the job of the BNI group is to find referrals for each other. So that one is strictly referral based. Now, there are other networking groups. If there's a Chamber of Commerce near you, they usually have networking groups. Go out and meet people. Anybody else have any ideas for networking? Chris says you need to find at least 3 groups, one for your business, one for your community, and one for your passion. Absolutely. Angela, do you have your hand up?
Also, make your way to the board so you can serve.
Yes. Absolutely. If you've not set foot in your realtor board, shame on you. You need to be going to the realtor board, and you need to be going to the classes there, to the events that are there, and you need to get involved in, like she said, on the board. So get to know your industry. You're going to be a much better realtor if you know what you're doing and what your industry is all about. So no one else has another networking group that they belong to? So Ruth says, I go to the gym, work on getting involved work on getting involved in the schools, right? Tiffany says she holds 2 board seats. Good job. Whatever you join, get on the board. If you do belong to the BNI, offer to be the hospitality, the welcome person. Do anything that don't be president, because that's like takes too much of your time. But do something so that people get to know you. Okay. Here's another one, billboards. I don't know about you, but it cracks me up when I see realtor billboards, but I know they work. I mean, we have them all over Florida, realtor billboards. Now, in some states, you can't do that, but if you want to put the time out, now that's totally passive, but you never know. People give you a call. Now, I'll tell you what I do know works is, I mean, from my experience as a managing broker, is that are those little bus benches. People look at those bus benches and they take down names of realtors. So don't do the grocery store things, or put your name on the grocery store cards. Don't do that. But if you got the money, do the park benches.
DJ.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you say don't do the grocery store carts?
They just don't work statistically.
Okay.
They've really never worked. So local newspapers, some of our areas still have local newspapers. Put an ad in every once in a while if you want to, but better, get interviewed. Call them, offer to be their source, and say, if you need any information about the local market, about what's happening in real estate, about anything that has to do with real estate, I would love to be your resource. Nobody does that anymore, but the newspapers are looking for things to put in their newspaper. So go out and reach out for that. Now, I do like this idea. Host an event at your local theater. It's really not as expensive as you think it's going to be. And get people to help you, get another couple of realtors to go in with you, and get your lenders and your inspectors, and get people to get involved. And do, in the summertime, do a kids movie and post it, or do something where people can go to the theater. They'll be really impressed. They'll think you're really cool.
So, question,
Yes.
What are you doing at the movies? Are you giving out a free movie? Is that what it is?
You can give them a free movie.
Okay.
You can have a speaker. You can just have a happy hour. You can, it's a venue. You can do anything you want. People get married there, believe it or not. So it's just, if you don't have a place to have an event, think about the local theater.
People get married at the movies?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, we talked about this before, branding yourself. Look, putting your logo on your clothes, on your shirt when you go out. Now, Mateo talked about that on Friday, a couple of Fridays ago, and he has a resource. So if Tiffany, if you get a hold of Mateo, didn't he talk about that where he did that? And
I thought
maybe
it
let
got
us,
dropped into Facebook though, onto the public Facebook group. It
okay,
might
can you
the
drop
link.
that into our, our site again for people? But he said he has a place that he gets his t-shirts logoed, so at the gym, and he had some really cute sayings that he had on those. So especially if you're a guy, have shirts made, nice shirts made with your logo on them, so that, or not have the shirts made, but have your logo put on some nice shirts and wear that when you go out. People notice what you're wearing and they notice logos. And he says, put it on your laptop, your shirts, your shorts, your workout clothes, your car, your truck, your kids' clothes, and everything else you use on a regular basis. That was, I am so sorry. That was one of the things that somebody said at another workshop is print out a big logo that fits on the back of the top of your laptop, so that when you open it up at Starbucks or wherever you are, everybody sees your logo. So that doesn't cost any money. Just buy the stick-on logo thing at Staples. I tell my agents this all the time: go to lunch, go to breakfast, sit at the bar, talk to people. You never know who you're going to meet. A lot of agents do that on a regular basis. Once a week, they go out and have lunch or breakfast by themselves, sit at the bar of the restaurant and talk to people. You never know who you're going to pick up. Don't pick people up. I shouldn't say that, right? Okay. So you never know what business you're going to pick up. So, and you can go to happy hour if you want. I mean, some people do that, but Tiff, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry, I have. Last fall, Sean and I went to a bar to go watch a football game. And that is where I met my investor clients and friends. We are working on 2 deals right now.
And
So
even better, if you're going to
everything
go out,
works.
wear your shirts. Wear your shirt that has your logo on it. So, yep, good job. Charities. Work with one that you love and you're passionate about. Please don't join a charity you don't care about. If you don't care about it, don't join it. And don't go in there for business. Go in there because you want to. But if you do, you're going to meet people and you're probably going to get business. Oh, Tiff put that.
I'm sorry, he didn't give me a link or anything. I went back and looked for it and he had provided the photo. So that's what I got for you guys.
Okay, there you go. Chris says, I literally wear white everywhere. Every event, I swear the only reason people remember me is similar branding, colors, repetition. Really, yeah. Yep. So teach classes. Does that scare anybody to teach a class? So what do you teach? You teach something you know. So let's say that, Ted, that you know football, right? So what could you do to teach something that has to do with football? Could you teach kids classes? Could you teach something about, could you, think about what do you know And who do you know that can help you with that? I just teamed up with a statewide title company to do workshops with them. And they do them, they have offices all over the state. So it's a good place for them, but they also feature me in there. So they do most of the workshop. Like the next one that's coming up is on AI. So I'm not an expert on there, but they brought in an expert. And what they're doing is they're interviewing me as to how do real estate agents use AI. And so I get to talk about that. And my portion is only like 10 minutes of an hour program. So you don't have to be the star. All you have to do is market it and be involved and get your time on the stage. So think about offering classes. Now, if you know a particular item, a thing, a subject, and something that you can teach, then do it. It doesn't even have to be about real estate. It just has to be something that can lead into real estate. So you just need to make a presence so that you meet people. And today, I think, how many of you have taken advantage of the Hometown Hero program that the lenders have to offer? Who's gone into a school, has gone in and talked to a principal and said, this program applies to your teachers. Could I come in during one of your teachers' days out and do a workshop and show them how that they can maybe use this program to get into a new house? Or maybe you go to, I was talking to Tim, and so he's going to do something for the firemen, take in lunch for them. But maybe he could also talk about the Hometown Heroes while he takes lunch into the fire people. Wouldn't that be nice? As a thank you to a Hometown Hero group, I'm going to bring you lunch. I'm going to bring pizzas in for you. So have to make an impact on people's lives. You have to.
So DJ, can I interrupt you real quick about what you were just talking about?
Yep.
So I'm in Homes for Heroes up here, and I'm actually on my way right now with the lender and my lawyer. We've been at our Cook County Jail for the whole month, where they let us allowed our banners because we actually took the Homes for Heroes, and today we're going to be there all day long. The superintendent allowed us to go to the other divisions, and we're actually taking them lunch today. It's so funny that you mentioned that.
That's awesome. So what are you doing when you're there?
So today we're going to basically answer their questions about real estate. A lot of them I took a lawyer that does real estate and estate planning. So they have a lot of estate planning questions, because a lot of them are getting ready to retire from the law enforcement system, and then Homes for Heroes to help them buy and sell real estate, basically.
So do you have a booth there, a table or something?
I do. I have a section. Actually, they gave us the whole section for where they clock in. It's about 1,000 people that actually get to see our banners per day, because they have to clock in at this one section. And we have a table that we've had all month there. We go on Tuesdays regularly, and then they just invited us out for the next 2 weeks to come on a Thursday so that they can get more exposure to it.
And have you gotten any business, any leads?
We've gotten a lot of people that signed up. And then a lot of people are letting us know, like, hey, I'm going to be looking to do this. I want to sell, but they're going through a transition right now. So they were letting us know, like, hey, we're going to try to get you out here every month. But it's been really, really good as far as feedback from their higher ups and them wanting to continuously do this. And I've been working at it for probably about 8 months, but it finally took. But it took 8 months of consistent trying to get in contact with people and, just trying to get into this building. And no realtor, lender, or lawyer has ever sponsored any events at a Cook County jail ever.
Awesome. That's awesome. And just so you know, I didn't know this, but a lender was speaking to us the other day and said that there is a limited amount of funds available for every county for the local hometown heroes. And so that's something that you can use to kind of push them forward, to get them maybe looking now. Because
Okay.
once that money's gone, it's gone for the year and it doesn't start again until the following year, if assuming they continue the program. So,
Okay, cool. Thank you for that.
yeah. Okay. And if you want to teach classes and you're afraid, then offer to teach a class for us. Because Tiff will let us, if we will come up with a good subject matter, and Tiff will let us teach a class here, or George will I'll let you, George will let you.
It's
teach it.
Tiff. It's Tiff. Tiff will let you. Don't listen to George.
You can practice on us. We're fine with that. And we'll tell you, that was great. Maybe next time do this, or whatever. So practice on us and share some of your information with us. We'd love that, right? Wouldn't we love that, Tiffany? Yeah. Okay. So farming. Okay. Let's talk about farming. Do all of you know what farming is? Farming is choosing an area and getting information out that particular area. You can do that with postcards. You can do that with door knocking. You can do that with flyers. You can do it with sending packages. You can go by for every holiday and drop something off. You can do a flag on 4th of July for 4th of July. You can do Easter eggs for Easter. You can do flags for Memorial Day and for Labor Day. There's all kinds of things that you can drop by that aren't going to cost you a lot of money. And it's all about, just like Chris said, consistency. You have to have a logo, you have to have a brand, and you have to stay consistent in whatever you're sending out. Now, statistically, when you do the flyers and you do the mailers, you're going to get a 1% to 2% return. That doesn't sound like much, does it? But that's when you first start. That builds over the years. But even at the first year, let's say, now you don't expect anything for the first until like after your first year. But after the first year, let's say that your farm is 500 people and you're sending out a mailer to them once a month. So what does a stamp cost? 50 cents? So, okay, so what is that going to cost you? $250, I think. Is that right? Does that sound right to somebody? To send that out. So if you get 1% of 500, how many is that? Somebody answer me. What is one? Getty, how much is 1%?
5.
Okay. Will you take 5 sales
Any day of the week.
for $250 a month?
Yeah, it's worth it.
So find a farm. Now, farm your own neighborhood, maybe. People have different thoughts about that. One is that if they're in your neighborhood, they're going to be stopping by all the time and asking questions, and it could become like overwhelming. The other side is, if you like your neighbors, you like your neighborhood, they already know you. Somebody said, I don't know who that was, said in one of these classes that she puts her tortoise in a stroller and takes him for a walk every day. And
Bunny, that's Gina Smith.
Yeah. And everybody in her neighborhood knows her because she rocks her tortoise in a stroller around the neighborhood. So the advantage of doing your own neighborhood is that if you walk, you can walk and you can meet people. And if you're consistent on what you're doing and what you're wearing, then people are going to stop and talk to you. And especially if they walk too. So if you don't want to do that, I'm going to tell you, pick your neighborhood well. Choose an area that you like, that you want to be in, and that you want to sell in, and that you like the people that are going to buy and sell from that neighborhood and into that neighborhood. And so, if you want to work with people that buy and sell over $500,000 houses, start with that neighborhood right now. If you want to sell $1 million homes, start with that neighborhood. This whole thing of building up, I'll start with the 200,000. I'll start with the mobile homes. I'll start with this and then I'll move up. That's difficult. Start where you want to be. It's like, do you ever hear dress for the position you want? So start acting like you are that realtor that you want to be. Okay. I love farming. I think it's one of the best things ever. And over the years, you will become the neighborhood specialist and you're going to just get calls. And it's not just going to be for your neighborhood. It's going to be to refer you out. Hey, Miss Liz, I haven't seen your face for a while. So jump in here and talk about that. Talk about something.
No, I agreed, like when it comes to farming. So I actually I'm a very like referral based agent. However, I've really been focusing on farming. And I picked the neighborhood that I want to work in, right? So I'm like, I'm tired of kind of driving all around Florida. So let me pick a neighborhood. I'm going to pick the neighborhood that I live in because the price point it's a good price point. I'm going to make a lot of money and I can sell like 2 seconds away from where I live. So what I did was I started doing open houses in the community. Anything that was for sale, I tried to get into that, I got into the open. I'm so sorry, guys. I had a call coming in. I got into the, I called the listing agent and was like, hey, yes, Daniel.
Give me a hug.
Okay, I'll give you a hug. Thank you. Can mommy just finish talking, please?
Okay.
Thank you. So I would go through, sorry about that, guys. So I would go through and say, hey, yeah, puppy, hold on. Give me 1 second. That is a 7. Sorry, guys. You know what it is when you have a toddler, they want to be on the phone when you are. So. But what I did was I started doing open houses for the entire community. And I said, hey, let me do an open house. So after a year of doing open houses, people consistently saw my signs and the same people that were walking through, they were coming into my open houses, like, and they seen me all the time. So now when I go through and then I was door knocking for the open houses, I was dropping off the flyers. So people were always being touched by me, no matter which way or form. So when I start door knocking and I'm having conversations with people, they're just like, oh yeah, you have the listing over there, there. And I'm like, well, that's not my listing, but I'm doing the open house. So they're just like, oh, we thought that you were, you're just the neighborhood realtor. So it works out very, very well. So now I'm just having people call my signs, but for any listings that I have coming up, and they're just like, hey, can you list my property? So it works. It's going to take about a year though, but you have to touch them all different ways. So you have to do the open houses, do the door knocking, do not skip out on the door knocking. I promise you would regret it. Postcards and flyers, and you'll be solid. You'll dominate a market within, I would say, like 6 to 8 months.
Liz, Ruth asked, how do you do open houses for somebody that's not in our brokerage?
Oh, I'll just call them and just say, hey, this is Liz. I noticed you had your new listing on 123 Main Street. I just wanted to know if I can host an open house for you on Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 3. Let me know if that works. They'll tell me yes, or they'll tell me to F off. And if they tell me to F off, on to the next. Like, I'm not going to take it personal because there are some brokerages that don't allow non whatever brokerage they're with to do their open houses, or if they have like a mega team or something like that. But other than that, like, it's just call them. If not, then find another one. Don't take it personal.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you always. First time home buyer classes, VA benefit classes. If you're going to do those, talk to somebody, your mentor, your sponsor, one of us, about doing those before you start. If you just jump right in and you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to waste your time. But if you do it right and you put it and you market it right, then you are going to have people show up. But you've got to have it at a time and a place that people will go to. And so think about that, but then talk to one of us. Okay, the last one is paid people events. Sponsor sports clubs. I'm going to go through these really quickly. Get the book, $9.95 on Amazon. Okay, sponsor sports clubs. Put your name on every kid's back. I'm telling you what, that's awesome. It's the cost of the t-shirts. really, it's pretty cheap. And if you can, volunteer to help if you know something about the sport. Move-in parties. As soon as your buyers get settled, throw a party for them. How does that work? Hey, Tiffany, welcome to the neighborhood. I'm so glad that you moved in. How would you like it if I threw a party for you after you got settled and we invited all the realtors, all the neighbors, and you get to meet them? Would you like to do that? You would? Okay, great. All right. So I can get the phone number, I can get the addresses. So I'm going to send out invitations to your neighbors and let's talk about what kind of party you want to have. Now, you're going to think this costs me thousands of dollars. I'm going to tell you, most people will not take advantage of you. Most of the ones I did ended up being like pizza and beer parties, because that was, or cookouts. Let's barbecue. I'll barbecue. Okay, the guy will say, I'll barbecue, we can do that. And okay, then I'll buy the hamburgers, the hot dogs, and the buns, and whatever else you want. And I can't buy liquor for you, but because that's, something that I don't want to do, but, I just say I can't. And we'll invite people, especially if it's in family neighborhood. You want to have something for the kids. You get one of those little bouncy houses or something for them, and you have a party. Do you think that every realtor out there does an after sale party? No, they give them a stupid gift and that they forget about within 2 months. Chris is laughing. I mean, you can give them a $50 bottle of wine and they'll still forget, So do something that their kids enjoy, make a memory, because that's all about them remembering you. Remember that. It's all about them remembering you. And you're the only going to be the only realtor there, unless one of their neighbors is a realtor, but you're probably going to be the only realtor there. And you get to talk to people. Hey, by the way, oh, you sold this house. Wow. And you know what? I would do it even if I was the one that listed the house and there was a different buyer's agent. I would just say to the buyer, is your agent going to throw a party for you? I would love, if not, I'd love to do that for you, because I really appreciate how easy it was for our transaction, and we can invite all the neighbors and you get to meet them too. So if the buyer's agent isn't doing her job or his job, step in and do it. I can't tell you how many times that if you're the listing agent and you reach out to the buyer, or you're the buyer's agent and you reach out to the seller, you really, really will pick up a client, because agents don't stay in touch. And I know we got just a minute. And I will tell you this quick story is that, well, just so you know, I've moved 42 times. This is my 42nd house to live in. And I've lived in 10 states and, in multiple cities. So, and I usually had 3 days to buy a house. And so I'd go in and I'd say, I need this, and I get to do it and in 3 days, and that's it. I never used the same realtor to sell my house when we got transferred again that sold it to me. Do you know why? Does anybody know why?
Because you forgot about them.
They didn't keep in touch.
They didn't keep in touch.
No, they did not. And I looked for their card, but I moved every year and a half. So I didn't really keep that kind of thing, and they never kept in touch. So keep in touch with your clients. That's another tip over this. The other thing of this is the last part is a bonus part. It's about people that you should meet, people you should know. I'm not going to go through that. We don't have time with that. I hope you guys have enjoyed this program. It's been really, really fun for me. And if you have any questions, you can call me, you can text me, you can do whatever. And the name of the book is 100 Ways to Lead Generate in Real Estate by Gene Fredericks. Gene is with EXP. I worked with him at KW. It's just just a great, great little book that you can keep with you. And if you ever tell me you don't know what to do for lead generation, I will tell you, open your book and just open your book and do that. Do that today. Because there are tons of ways to do this. But going back to my little sheet over here, this Excel spreadsheet, keep track of what you're doing. Monitor it every week. Know how many people did you put in your database. If your goal was 20 and you did 8, that's okay. If you did 19, yay, you're doing your job. If you did 2, like I did last week, I sucked. So, you know, you have to keep track, and it's even better if you have an accountability partner or a coach that's going to help you get through that. And you want to have an accountability partner that holds you accountable, that when you said you were going to do 20 and you only did 3, that they say, why? And what can I do to help? So find an accountability partner and don't wait for one to call you. Reach out, look at the people that are around you, look at the people that are at the workshop tomorrow, the Zoom class in the morning. And if you're not going to Friday morning meeting, Zoom call, you're missing out as well. Lots of really good people there. Reach out. And I know that Tim reached out to, my phone's ringing, sorry. And that is an experienced agent, and she's been very, very helpful to him. So reach out for an accountability partner. You can do 2, you can do 3 together, you can do scripts, all kinds of stuff. Can you guys hear my phone? Okay.
It's all good, PJ. You told us that you had a hard stop of 9:30, and I just want to thank you for your time over the past few weeks. This information has been amazing, and I've heard of the book before, and I honestly have not gone through it. So I am very thankful that you went through it with me. I do need to now purchase it so I can go back and review it, but thank you. This was a nice kick in the butt, because there really are so many ways to lead generate that there is no excuse not to. Did you hear that, guys?
Oh, my number, if you want my number, it's 941-779-3943. But you really should be contacting your sponsor or your mentor, because they're the ones that know your background and they know what you need. But if you need something really fast, you know, if I don't answer, the best thing to do is text me, because everybody knows that I'm got back-to-back appointments all the time.
Yes.
Okay. Any last
Yeah.
minute questions before I bail? Turn off the recording.
You say your number again?
941-779-3943.